Drake Maye's rookie season has been something else, hasn't it? With some real highs and lows. And now, this pause comment that came out in his latest press conference. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, it's definitely gotten everyone's attention, that's for sure. Especially with everyone bringing up the LaMelo Ball comparison, $100,000 fine for something similar in the NBA. Really shows the line these athletes have to walk between showing their personality and, the consequences that can come with it.
Do you think Maye knew what could happen when he made that comment? It makes you think about how much media training these younger players actually get.
Hard to say, really. But regardless, I think this whole thing just shows how much scrutiny athletes are under these days with them. Every single word and gesture they make is picked apart and can have repercussions.
Let's change gears a bit and look at how Maye's actually been doing on the field. So far, he's at 12,236 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. How would you assess his rookie season so far?
Well, those stats definitely show that he's been inconsistent, which you kind of expect from a rookie quarterback in the NFL. I'd say those 6 interceptions are a bit concerning. It seems like he's still getting used to how fast and complex professional but then you see those 9 touchdowns, and it shows you the talent that made him such a big prospect to begin with.
Maye recently said that it was super important to bring that same focus and intensity from practice to the games. It seems like he knows he needs to be more consistent with how he prepares and how he plays.
Oh, absolutely. And that quote really says a lot about how much he's maturing and beginning to understand what it takes to succeed at this level. He's realizing that every rep, every play matters.
Coach Jerod Mayo has also said that Maye is taking control of the offense and inspiring his teammates. Have you seen any signs of that in Maye's game?
Yeah, you can definitely see some leadership starting to emerge. The fact that he's willing to take ownership of the offense and hold himself accountable is a great sign. Still early, of course, but it looks like he's developing that mental and emotional side of the game along with his physical talent.
How important do you think it is for a young quarterback to have that support from the coach, especially on a team like the Patriots that has such a strong history of leadership at that position?
It's huge. It's incredibly valuable for any player to have the coach's confidence, but especially for a young quarterback. It gives them validation, a sense of stability, and a platform to grow. From Coach Mayo believing in Maye's leadership potential is really significant.
The Patriots haven't had the best season overall. Would you say Maye is a bright spot for them, a glimmer of hope for what's to come?
I think it's too early to say anything definite about his future, but he could definitely be a cornerstone for the franchise. It'll be really interesting to see how he develops.
What specifically do you think will be the key indicators of his progress and potential, aside from just looking at the stats?
Well, how he makes the decisions under pressure, whether he can read defenses and adjust his game plan, how consistent he is with his execution, and of course, if he keeps growing as a leader, all of those things will be crucial in figuring out where he goes.
The Patriots fan base is known for being pretty passionate and having high expectations. How do you think they're feeling about how Maye is developing so far?
It's understandable that fans are eager to see the team get back to its winning ways. They're looking for anything that gives them hope, and those moments where Maye has really shined have definitely gotten them excited. But patience is key. Developing a franchise quarterback doesn't happen overnight.
And speaking of patience, how does Maye's development timeline compare to other rookie quarterbacks we've seen in recent years?
Yeah.
Especially those who have found success in the NFL.
Every quarterback's journey is different. There's no one-size-fits-all formula for success. Some quarterbacks come in and kill it right away, while others take a little longer to find their footing. It's important to remember just how huge of a jump it is to go from college to NFL. Patience is absolute.
What would you say are the biggest challenges a rookie quarterback faces making that transition from college to the NFL, other than the obvious increase in talent and competition?
Well, the speed of the game is so much faster. The defenses are way more complex and disguised. The playbook is much more extensive, and the pressure is just amplified. It's a whole new level of having to think on your feet and execute.
Maye comes from a family with a pretty strong football background. His father was a quarterback at UNC, and his brother was a standout receiver there. How much do you think that background influences how he approaches?
Growing up in a family like that definitely gives you a deep understanding and love for you get valuable mentorship support. But at the end of the day, it's up to the player to take those and forge their own path.
That's a really good point. It's not just about who your family is, it's about your own drive and dedication.
Exactly. Talent alone isn't going to cut it. To succeed in the NFL, you need a combination of things. Physical ability, mental toughness, leadership qualities, and an unwavering commitment to getting better.
So we have a rookie quarterback with undeniable talent, facing a steep learning curve, showing signs of growth and leadership, and carrying the hopes of a really passionate fan base.
It's a compelling narrative that will play out over time. His journey is only just beginning.
What are your thoughts on the impact of social media and the 24/7 news cycle on a young player's development? Do you think it helps or hurts?
It's kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, social media can connect players with fans and give them a platform to express themselves. On the other hand, it can amplify the scrutiny they're under and create distraction. It's really important for young players to learn how to navigate all of that and stay focused on what really matters, which is their performance on the field.
It's a lot to handle for someone in their early 20s, especially in such a high-pressure environment.
That's why mental resilience is so important. Being able to block out the noise, stay focused, and persevere through tough times is essential for achieving long-term success.
So we have a talented young quarterback trying to figure out the complexities of the NFL both on and off the field.
It's a journey filled with challenges and opportunities. The next few seasons will be key in determining what his legacy.
It's a story that's going to keep fans and analysts on the edge of their seats.
Without a doubt, the potential is there, the stage is set, and the journey is just getting started.
This has been a fascinating conversation.
The pleasure was all mine. It really has. And his development is definitely a storyline to keep an eye on.
For sure. And it makes you wonder, what are some realistic expectations for Maye at this point in his career? Should we be comparing him to other rookie quarterbacks? Or should we be focusing more on how he's progressing within the Patriots system?
That's a great question. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing players, but every quarterback develops at their own pace. For Maye, the focus should be on how he's growing within the Patriots offense, how well he's grasping the playbook, his chemistry with his receivers, and how he makes decisions under pressure.
The Patriots are known for their strong offensive line and balanced offensive approach. How important do you think those factors are in giving Maye a solid foundation to build his skills on?
Oh, those factors are absolute. A strong offensive line gives him the time he needs to read defenses and make those accurate throws. And a balanced offense takes some of the pressure off of him, which allows him to develop at a more reasonable, it's a really supporting environment that can grow.
Let's talk about the mental side of the game for a minute. Being a quarterback is probably the most mentally demanding position in all of sports. How do you think Maye is handling the pressure and expectations that come with being the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots?
There's no doubt that it's a high-pressure situation. The expectations in New England are huge. We've seen moments where he shows mental toughness, like when he bounces back from mistakes and leads gaining drives. But the real test will be how consistently he can handle adversity over.
How much do you think his demeanor, that calm and collected presence we see in press conferences, translates to his leadership on the field and his ability to inspire his team?
I think that composure is a big asset. It projects confidence and brings a sense of calm to the huddle, which is so important for a young quarterback. His teammates see that he doesn't crumble under pressure, and that can be really
The Patriots have a good mix of veteran players and young talent on offense. How do you guys see Maye's leadership style evolving as he gets more experience and establishes himself as the face of the franchise?
It's an interesting dynamic for sure. He's going to have to earn the respect of those veteran players while also guiding and mentoring the younger ones. His leadership style will probably evolve naturally as he builds relationships and faces the challenges of leading a diverse group of guys.
What are some specific leadership traits you've seen in Maye that make you think he could be that unifying force for the Patriots offense?
His accountability stands out to me. He owns up to his mistakes and doesn't shy away from responsibility. He's vocal in the huddle, making sure everyone's on the same page. And he genuinely seems to want to lift his teammates up and push them to be their best.
Being able to connect with his teammates is going to be crucial, especially with all the ups and downs that come with a long NFL season.
Absolutely. Building that trust and camaraderie within the offense is super important. A team that's united where everyone believes in each other and plays for each other is much more likely to overcome tough times.
It's clear that Maye's development is a multifaceted process.
Yeah.
It's about his physical skills, his mental strength, his leadership qualities, his relationships with his teammates, and his ability to adapt to the complexity of the NFL.
It's a fascinating journey to follow. And while it's too soon to say for sure where he'll end up, the early signs are promising.
It's a story that's going to keep unfolding week after week, season after season, and we'll be here to break it all down.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and look at the bigger picture.
Right.
How do you think Maye's emergence as the Patriots quarterback impacts the team's overall trajectory in the coming years?
His development is definitely tied to the future of the franchise. A successful quarterback can make a huge difference for a team. It can create a winning culture and inspire a whole new generation of fans.
The Patriots have a long history of success, but they're also going through a bit of a transition. Do you think Maye could be the catalyst for a new era of dominance in New England?
It's definitely a possibility, but it's important to keep expectations. Rebuilding a dynasty takes time, patience, and a lot of hard work. Maye is a critical piece of the puzzle, but they're still in the early stages.
The AFC is a really competitive conference with some big-name quarterbacks and rising stars. How do you see Maye stacking up against the competition as he gains more experience and matures as a player?
The AFC is a tough conference to play, and no question. He's going to face some fierce competition from veterans and young guns alike. It'll be a challenging environment that will really test his skills and show us what he...
It's an exciting time to be a Patriots fan with a young quarterback leading the charge, a mix of veteran experience and young talent on the roster, and a sense of optimism about the future.
It's a new chapter in the Patriots story, and Maye is right at the heart of it.
It's definitely a story we'll be following closely. But for now, let's take a minute to reflect on the key takeaways from our conversation about Drake Maye's rookie season and his potential impact on the New England Patriots.
Happy to share my thoughts. What are some of the things that stood out to you?
Well, his growth mindset, his willingness to learn and adapt, his ability to handle pressure, his emerging leadership qualities, and those flashes of brilliance we've seen on the field, those are all really encouraging signs.
Couldn't agree more. Those are all positive indicators. And while he'll definitely face challenges along the way, he seems to have the right attitude, the work ethic, and the support system to navigate them successfully.
It's a compelling story that's going to continue to unfold over the next few years. And as always, we'll be here to provide our analysis and perspectives.
I'm excited to see what the future holds for Drake Maye in the New England. It really has been. We've had a really good discussion about Drake Maye and what he could mean for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, we've covered a lot, haven't we? From his pause comment and all the scrutiny athletes have to deal with these days, to how he's performing on the field and the leadership qualities he's starting to show.
Definitely. And we've also talked about the challenges and opportunities ahead of him as he figures out how to navigate the NFL.
What would you say has been the most important takeaway from our conversation?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's remembering to be patient and have perspective when we're talking about how a young quarterback is developing,
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. There are going to be good times and bad times, wins and losses. The key is to look at the bigger picture, at how he grows over time and the potential he has that we haven't even seen yet.
I couldn't agree more. It's so easy to get caught up in the hype or the criticism that's happening right now. But it's important to remember that these guys are still young. They're still learning and growing and figuring things out.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so exciting to watch. We're seeing a story unfold. We're seeing talent develop. We're seeing a potential star in the making.
So taking everything we've talked about into consideration, what do you predict Maye's future in the NFL will look like?
Well, predictions can be tricky, especially in a league as unpredictable as the NFL. But based on what we've seen from him so far, the talent, the work ethic, those leadership qualities he's showing, and the support system he has, I'm optimistic that he'll find success.
I am too.
Yeah.
It seems like he has the right mindset and the skills he needs to really make it in this league.
Of course, there will be bumps in the road. He's going to face tough times, make mistakes, and have to overcome obstacles. But if he can keep growing, learning, adapting, and evolving, I think he can be a truly special player.
It's a journey that'll be really interesting to follow, a story that's worth telling, and we'll be here every step of the way to break it all down and share our insights.
I can't wait to see what the future holds for Drake Maye.
It's always great chatting with you.
Likewise.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.